This year, the federal government is expected to release its action plan in response to the inquiry into missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. The inquiry's final report was delivered more than 6 months ago. And among other systemic issues, Indigenous women and girls are 12 times more likely to be murdered or go missing than members of any other demographic group in Canada. Joining us this morning is Pamela Beebe. She's an Indigenous cultural education and protocol specialist at the University of Calgary. Thanks for joining us this morning.
You're welcome. Good morning, Anne-Marie.
Crown Indigenous Relations Minister Carolyn Bennett has said that this action plan is set to roll out in June of 2020. What would you like to see contained in that report?
Anne-Marie, I've had some time to think about this, as you've noticed. What I was hoping is that the first thing that I'd like to see is support to the families of the missing and murdered Indigenous women. That's the most important. The second thing is I want to see support for the organizations that are helping these families as well. We only have a few Indigenous organizations here, and only one or two that are actually working directly with the families. And then the third thing is I want to see something that speaks to what they're doing right now to prevent more violence against all Indigenous women and girls. And then the last thing that I'm hoping to see is something tangible, a memorial site or something where we can go and remember the women, honor them, recognize them. I live in Calgary, so something central that we could all get to.
Pamela, when the report was issued, most of the attention focused on just one word, and that was genocide. Yet there were 231 items for change. What conversations do you want Canadians to be having about the issue of Indigenous missing and murdered women and girls?
So, Anne-Marie, I'm hoping that, first of all, people take the time to read that report. It's very in-depth. I'm hoping that they actually take a course or a class or learn something about the history and why we are at this state today.
You're an Indigenous woman. You're also a mom, and you have a teenage daughter. How do you, on a personal level, address these issues with her as a young Indigenous woman?
You're correct. I have a teenager, and so first of all, I'm constantly aware of protecting her at all times, even in the home, in the community, at her school. I know where she is. I know who her friends are. I know where she's walking, what she's doing. And I feel that I have to be super, super cautious. And I also have to talk to her on a regular basis about how to stay safe and who the safe people are in the community that she can trust and go to.
The government has said that this action plan will be, as we mentioned, in June. Why do you think it's taking so long?
Well, for a few reasons, right? We have change in government. We have change in the Minister of Indian Affairs. There's a lot of changes. I think first of all, it's the people involved. The inquiry itself was with a lot of challenges, but I'm really hoping that I see something that will work for all Indigenous women and girls.
Pamela, one last question. What about accountability in making sure anything that is in that action plan is actually followed through on? Because right now, they're just suggestions.
I agree with you. The only accountability we have, everything I do is at a grassroots level. So it's the people holding our chief and council accountable. It's the people holding our mayor accountable. So all levels of government. And it takes a lot of work. That's why I'm hoping to see that support for the organizations who are doing this. They're out there day to day, drawing attention to this urgent issue.
Pamela Beebe, I want to thank you for joining us from Calgary today.
You're welcome. Thank you.